Hi everybody, welcome back to the Claremont Classic Garage. Today we're going to do a little work on this old 48 8N behind us here. Now you'll recall from previous episodes that we bought this thing dirt cheap, sight unseen, just for parts. Unfortunately, as is the case with me, I started tinkering around with it. We got the engine freed up. We got the valves freed up. We got it running. We got the hydraulics working. The transmission's working. Well, next thing you know, why am I scrapping this? It's a perfectly good tractor. This is what happens around here. So what we're going to do today is the last steps that we have to do to get this thing so it will run and drive. So the scope of the work is going to be as follows. We're going to pop the engine off and get the clutch freed up because my attempts at running it in gear with the clutch pressed and stomping on the brakes were futile. So we're going to have to actually take the engine off, remove the pressure plate from the flywheel, get everything freed up and cleaned up. While I'm in there, hopefully I've got one in stock, I'll change the front seal in the transmission and the little gasket behind the front bearing retainer, and then we won't have to take the engine off again later. I'm also going to, when I put the engine back on, put a new muffler on it because you can see this here. Well, we can stick our hand inside it. Too bad, look at that. Original 8N muffler, but she's shot. The downpipe in that is still good, so I'll keep this around and sooner or later I'll find a little 1.5 inch glass pack or a purple horny or something and we'll just replace that. And then I guess that's about it. We got to put a seat on it. We have to change the level box here. I found 2 front wheels for it, so we have to change the hubs to the small bolt pattern style 8N hubs. These are 9N hubs. So I've got a pair of hubs over there. And man, that should be it. You should be ready to rock and roll. Get out there and get rolling. The one back tire, I managed to get air into it. It was just missing a valve core. So I have to scrounge around and find some way to replace that back tire. I got to see what I've got in stock. And then this thing should be ready to go. Roll around the field. That's when I'll put it through its paces, make sure everything works as it should before I make the absolute final decision on fixing this or parting it. So far so good, pretty easy. All the bolts have come out. We've got it held up on our crane here. You can see it's starting to split. So we'll just kind of jiggle it out and see what the clutch looks like. And there you have it. It's out. The clutch looks a little kind of icky. It's got one of the really cheap non-dampened discs in it, so we'll get rid of that and put a dampened one in it. So it's got nice take up without being jerky. I had a look in here. Oh, there we are. Put the flash on. Doesn't look like the front seal has really been leaking. Thank goodness, because I don't have one. So it's just going to have to go back in as is. The throwout bearing is nice and smooth and quiet. So everything in here is good. We're not going to mess with it too much. We'll go ahead now and get this here pressure plate off. So there's our problem. The clutch disc is stuck to the flywheel. And it doesn't always take that much to get them off, but let's see. There. So that's why we couldn't get the drive to brake on this thing. We'll check the pilot bearing. Yeah, it's just fine. That's good. So we'll clean up the flywheel. We'll clean up this pressure plate. And I'll find a dampened disc for this, because these things are pretty harsh on the take-up. Well, it looks like this thing is going back in. I went over and had a look in the barn, and I don't have any dampened ones. I found another couple like this, so I guess I've used them all up over the years. So I cleaned this one up. Hopefully it's not too harsh. So we got it with our clutch alignment tool stuck in there. Now we will put the pressure plate on. All right, got the clutch all buttoned up. Now it can go back together. Our angle of dangle is a little bit off, but we should be able to jockey it in. I'm not too worried about that. Easy as pie. Now we'll get some bolts started in and slowly start kind of pulling it together, all the while being careful not to crack that. You don't want to pull too hard on it. All right, well that all went together quite nicely. Now we're going to get these front hubs changed and get a pair of wheels on the front of it. Oh, there it is, sitting on two front wheels holding air. You gotta like that. That looks a lot better than it did when it got here, I'll tell you that. Gotta wonder, eh? These guys, this guy and this guy, they're both 1948s. This one was built a little earlier than this one. This one was built July or August of 47. And this one, I think the engine was cast in... Yeah, January 19th the engine was cast. And this one was cast in... I think July 31st of 47. So they are a few months apart, I guess. But you gotta wonder if they've ever met before, you know? Did they sit in the same lot? Were they on the same train? Who knows? Anyway, they've met now. So there we are. We got a level box put on, a seat. I put the fenders back on. I got one back wheel back on it. I have to go and find something to put on this side because, well, that's not going to cut it. All right. And once I get a wheel on back there, we'll cobble up the electrical again and see if we can make this thing move under its own power. I managed to find a decent tire on a wheel that I was able to put on. It was on a 9N wheel, so I just had to change the center to an 8N center, and on it went. Then later when I get time, I'll have to get this... I'll have to get this old tire off this wheel. And what I'll probably do is, this is a really nice tire. So what I'll probably do is, and I actually have the match to it. It's a really nice pair. So what I'll probably do is put that match on another wheel. And then, you know, this thing will have 4 pretty nice tires on it. And that'll make it a really nice tractor. Anyway, I got to go do a couple of errands now. When I come back from that, we'll get it fired up and take it for its maiden voyage. Well, here we go. We're going to try it out. See if we can yard drive this thing. It doesn't have a belt or a fan on it at the moment, but I did put the radiator on and fill it up with coolant. That'll buy it a little time anyway, so we don't have to worry about melting it down. Okay, here we go. First thing we're going to do is try and engage the PTO. Success. Lift up the hitch. Success. At least now we know the clutch works. Okay, what do you think? Think this thing will move? Reverse. Holy Toledo. First gear. When was the last time that this thing ever moved under its own power? I can't even imagine. Let's try all the gears. Second. Yep. Third, which is what we mostly use these things in. And fourth, suicide gear. The clutch isn't even that harsh, not bad. Okay. We're gonna get back to the shop now. Doesn't even seem to smoke. That's good. What a good little tractor. Neutral. Okay, let's slow it down. A little bit of smoke, but not bad. Nothing worth worrying about, that's for sure. Well, that was a rip-roaring success. There is a little bit of coolant coming out of it, but you can see it's just coming out the overflow. I probably need to shut this thing off now, because remember, no water pump. She might be getting a little warm. Anyway, that's that. Now, we're in the grip of a pretty nasty windstorm here right now, so I'm going to attempt to get tidied up a little bit in here and get this tractor shoved right against that workbench and get the old Ram 1500 in here for the night, because we don't want it getting hit by any flying debris. There's a big nasty blob of stuff that's been coming up through the Great Lakes. It wreaked some real havoc. And I think the bottom end of Ohio and Kentucky, tornadoes, a lot of people killed. Our hearts are with them right now. Always respect the weather, because it'll take you out in the blink of an eye. All right, that's it. We got her in. Now we can go in the house and have supper and ride out this storm. And hopefully there won't be too much damage around here. We were out on the road this afternoon and there was branches flying all over the place. It was pretty crazy. Oh, look, there's Trusty Rusty, my screensaver. The greatest 8N of all time, Trusty Rusty. That worked out pretty well. That was the last test, to get it out and get the wheels turning and make sure everything was okay. It's past that, so yes, 100%, we're going to fix it. All I got left to do now is finalize my parts list, get the parts ordered. In the meantime, there's one other job on it that I got to show you that I hope a lot of you will like, because it's something I get a lot of questions about. Anyway, until I see you back for that one, thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you next time on the Claremont Classic Garage. So long for now.